Welcome to another episode of
Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy.
I'm Andy Vargo, and this is my bestie,
Cheri Hardman. We decided to do something.
Yeah?
Andy Vargo and I will do anything for attention.
Yes, we will.
I'll tell you what I did. My nails, my hair, and my nails, my hair.
You gotta give yourself credit for all the things you do.
I'll tell you what I did earlier, later.
Now I don't know when it'll happen.
Earlier. And we're here to discuss my nails, my hair, and
Being the best at no matter what it is that you're doing. Now I don't know when it'll happen. Alrighty. I can see out the window, I can see blue skies and the trees in the park, and it's making me just want to be outside with no responsibilities, but I have things to do.
I've been so busy. Have you?
Yes, it's been a lot, but at least for me, it's a lot of good stuff. Some of it is things that just need to get taken care of, but there's a lot of good stuff mixed in there too.
I have, since I retired, I told myself first thing I was going to do was take care of all the medical appointments that I've been neglecting.
Yeah.
And not only for me, but like for Andrew or, whatever, the pets, whoever needs maintenance.
Right.
And that's literally, I swear, been a full-time job.
Oh, I imagine. Yeah.
Like I'm kind of fucking sick of it already.
Well, and I also kind of wonder, like when you work in a school, and I don't know, I can't speak to this, but I'm curious about it. Like, does the retirement feel a little different because you normally end right now anyway? So I wonder if it'll feel even more
I'm
real.
not going to really feel it till September or.
Yeah. I was kind of wondered about that. Like right now it's like par for the course, school's out, and then in September it'll be like, wait, I have to go back.
And summer's always busy like this, like trying to catch up on doctor's appointments and, all that kind of stuff. So that's all I've been doing. What?
Yeah. My dad was a teacher and retired from that. And my mom said it was like the summer that never ended. It's like he just didn't go back to work. She's like, aren't you going back?
Oh.
Yeah. So how's your first week of retirement been?
It's been, like I said, busy, not fun, not in a fun way. It's not been fun. The only thing that's really been fun is I've been recording a lot of episodes of Diary of an Ex-Ho.
Yeah.
Those are really interesting. I'm talking to a lot of interesting people about interesting things and, learning a lot and getting to know people in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel blessed that these people have decided to let me into their, really sacred, personal, sexual space. So
I can relate to that because I feel like when people open up and are willing to talk about experiences or parts of themselves, I don't take that lightly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's helped me get to know people that I already know in a better way. So that's been a lot of fun and really been good. And I'm like I always say, I'm learning as I go along, and I just, I'll come up with it. I try to kind of ask the same questions just to guide people down the same path, and then wherever it meanders is great. But every time I kind of come up with a new question that I wish I would have asked so and so this, so, but it's fun.
Well, and you've had an eventful week. You had some shows in there. You had a little trip over the mountains. Let's hear about all the stuff.
Oh yeah, we did a dope show Sunday in Spokane, and so that was a drive there and back all in one day. Yeah. I don't think I told you this part, but for the dope show, though, if anyone's never been. All the comedians do a set, then they send us outside to smoke pot, and then we come back in, do another set. So on my second set, I did sexual mind reading. But when I started it out, I started by talking about Tyler and Shad and what I thought they would be like in bed. Oh. And then they told me later that they're all in the back room, they're in the green room, and they're like, wait a minute, is she fucking roasting us out there? No, that
That's
was kind
funny.
of funny. But it was a good show. It was fun. I got to, work with people that I've worked with before. It was Charles Hall Jr. and Shad Foster and Mike Coletta and
Nice.
Tyler and me. So it was a good show. And driving home, my poor husband, he doesn't like that. Either do I. That's why he's doing it. So I need to figure out some better way to do those trips without, I don't want to spend overnight all the time.
Right.
So I decided that I need to hire somebody that will want to work for free and do all my dirty work for me.
That's fair.
And then we had the great show at Otter Otter, the Pride show.
That was fun. That was a sold out show, just full room. It was great. I that was fun. Great comedians, Monica Nevi's like my favorite.
Mhm.
Of course, but I just love her, and that show was so awesome, and she just knows how to work a room. And
Mm.
all the other comedians that were on, Juno and Tamara, was just a great show all the way around. Everyone did great. So
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, that was the first sold out we've done.
yeah.
The second closest we came was Bo Johnson had a pretty full room. And then the Pride show last year did pretty well.
Yeah. And when we had Gabe there, Gabriel Rutledge,
Oh, yeah.
that was really full. That was
So,
like one of our first shows. Yeah.
yeah. So that was a good one. And it's hard to produce a show and not be on it, though, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Like, well, I want to jump in, but it wasn't my show.
Like, I want to tell a joke.
Uh,
I've had that happen where even when we've had the room going there, and I've actually experienced that where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to do a set, like especially when it's a good room. It's like maybe I could just pop in the middle here for a quick 2 jokes.
Now, we have a guy that comes to spray for ants, and he's currently right outside my window. So if you see any movement back there, it's not a creepy stalker.
Nothing's happening, but that's
Ant guy that he comes every 3 months,
Yeah.
those little ants. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, I had before that show, I had a show on Friday up in Bothell with the Laugh Tech, and that was a really good show. I was driving up there going, why am I driving? Adam Tiller closed out that show, and I was driving up there actually thinking about him because it's, I'm going up almost to Everett thinking, damn, he drives further than this to come down to Tacoma all the time. And I'm just like, that dude's dedicated. I mean, and he's making comedy more of a obviously a career, more than I am. But I was just driving up there going, but it was such a fun show. Once I was there, I was glad. And I met Laura for dinner first. It was a good night around. But
that's cool.
But yeah, that was a great room. And Marcel and Brian are just such cool people. They do a great job with everything they're doing with their business and Laugh Tech and everything. It's fun to see.
Cool. All right, can I complain now?
Let me see if I got through everything. Yeah, and then I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
I got to give you the non-boyfriend updates because everyone else hasn't gotten the latest.
Of course. I am so hungry.
Okay. Have you tried eating?
Here's the problem. And it's like, being diabetic, newly diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
I just got my little glucometer, however you want to say it. Haven't learned how to poke myself and do all that yet. Because they gave me one the other day and it was defective, so we had to return it. So we just got it today, and Nipsey is barking himself into a frenzy right now. So I haven't sat down with it to look through all the stuff and figure. I tried once before many months ago and just couldn't bring myself to poke myself. Mm-hmm. So I don't really. Here's the deal. They diagnose you as diabetic. Then they hand you a prescription for all this equipment and kind of go, good luck. They don't even say good luck.
Just like, here, go do your thing.
Yeah. And I literally, I have general knowledge, I have knowledge from friends and stuff, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Because if
Yeah.
you like look at what you're supposed to eat, all stuff I hate. And then if you look at the list of stuff you're not supposed to eat, all stuff I eat.
Right.
And I mean, I'm not really exaggerating at all. Like today, it's like, oh, what are the best foods to, like I've been Googling my ass off. What are the best foods to eat? Fatty fish, green leafy vegetables, and avocados.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen me eat any of those three things?
I barely saw you eat some avocado the other day and you complained about it.
So I mean, literally, like I get up in the morning and I could almost cry right now because I get up in the morning. I used to always be a bowl of cereal person.
Mm-hmm.
Can't eat that now. So now I'm like, I get up and I start off my day hungry, and then I spend all day trying to figure out what I'm gonna fucking eat, and I'm hungry, which makes me angry. And I've
Oh,
been,
that was one of your red flags, by the way, was
yeah, I've been kind of a bitch. I mean, just snappy, not like because I'm hungry and I don't know what to eat. Like I like,
huh.
so I'm really frustrated by that. But I don't really want to like ask people because you know how I am. I don't really like people telling me how to do stuff. So,
Right. I know what you
so
mean. Yeah, it's like you don't want everybody giving you all their million ideas online, and then things that take like, oh, this is like someone posted something today and it's like, oh, I made this salad and it looked gorgeous and beautiful. And she's like, and this was not at all in a bad way. It was like, oh, this is cool. And I was like, oh, that looks really good. And she said, if anybody wants a recipe, let me know. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do that much work.
right, right. And then the other thing is and then there's also people that use these opportunities to try to sell you their products, and that fucking pisses me off. And I
Yeah.
got one person that I thought I had unfriended, but I guess I didn't block her. I thought I had blocked her, but apparently I didn't, and she keeps doing this. So she's about to go.
About to lose.
About to get the big boot because she used my son's death as an excuse
Gosh,
to reach out to me to try and sell me something. And then when I got hit by the apple, and so
yeah, that's just petty. And these are the things that give sales a bad, like when people are actively like all they care about is trying to sell you something. Like these are the things where people are like, salespeople are scum of the earth. And
yeah,
like,
that's why. Yeah. So I literally, yeah, I'm really struggling. And it's just like I've been hungry all day. And then I did eat some, like I've been eating bacon, like a piece of bacon and some eggs for breakfast. But eggs, if I eat them too many days or too often, I'll look at an egg and
yeah.
they affect that way.
If you want to get together and have like some halibut and avocado or something, let me know.
Yeah. So if you have ideas of stuff, I know I can eat nuts. I know I can have like milk. Grilled
Are you
chicken.
does that include yogurt? Are you a yogurt person?
Yogurt, like, oh yeah, if you want to eat it plain because of the sugar.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really basically no carbs, no sugar, or very low carbs, or very, and then it'll be like buy like whole grain bread, and then Dave goes and gets his whole grain bread, but it says no, the first ingredient has to be has to say whole grain. Well, this didn't, and so it's like, and then there's like carbs, and then there's, I don't know, there's like two different numbers, like like say how there's fat and saturated fat.
Yeah.
Well, there's carbs and something. They're going to expect me to keep track of my food and numbers and math, and you might as well just, but I kind of want to keep my feet. So
right, that's fair.
It's really a struggle. It's like
I used to use this app like a MyFitnessPal or something. You just type in everything that you eat all day long. I still have the thing, and every once in a while I log in and I was like, oh, maybe I'll do this. And I'm not good with documenting stuff. but it is nice because it's like, oh, you did this, or
I'll do
heads
it
up,
for you.
this
Yeah,
food's high
yeah.
in fat or sugar. But I know they do have apps for that kind of stuff, but then it's a lot of work.
Well, and also if you've grown up as a fat person, well, unless, let me just speak for myself. Growing up as a fat person, um, as a child, my mom would try to get me to go on diets. My dad was rude to me about my weight.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of trauma and that kind of stuff that feeds in with all this.
Yeah.
And so it's all just very touchy. I mean,
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
look at my face. Like, I have not been happy this
Yeah.
week. Like,
You look like you're ready to swing.
it's just like, just want to eat something that I enjoy. Just,
Well, and I guess one of the things I know it's different when there's a impending medical thing, so it does make it tricky. But I know sometimes I've heard people say just like not trying to change everything, but making one change at a time, like changing breakfast or changing lunch, even though
yeah,
you're like, okay, this might feel like I'm pushing it aside the rest of the day, but doing that for a few weeks and then changing one other thing maybe is a way where it's like, well, at least I'm 20% eating healthier, 30% eating healthier if it's one of my meals a day.
yeah.
Um,
Well, it'll help probably when I can start testing my blood and kind of just having an idea of
yeah,
where I am in the, and then plus, they started me on a medication for it. So that, who knows how that factors into
sure.
my mood or the way I feel right now. I don't know.
I
So
used to
anyway,
wish, no, I used to wish I could have someone just like follow me around all day long and for like 2 weeks and be like, this is what we're gonna make. We're gonna go shopping together. We're gonna, like I'm
that's
gonna
what
try.
you used to wish that.
Well, like when I was trying to eat healthy and stuff, it was like it would be nice if someone just was there all day long. Um, and actually, even when I was younger, I wish that like when I didn't know how to act straight and was like, I need to figure out like what are the right things to do. I was like, it'd be nice to have someone that you just went with all day long. And I was like, no, don't do that, say that, act like that. Now I'm, not trying to fake anything,
Right.
but I've had those thoughts over the years. Like, God, it'd be nice if there was just like
My point is though, that if you're going to wish, don't wish for someone to teach you how to grocery shop. Just wish for someone to cook for you and be your
well,
private
that's
chef,
a good point. That'd be even better. Yes. Well, now I'm just working on building my fortune to the point that I have a private chef. So
Oh, that would be so nice, right?
I'm looking
So
forward to it.
anyway, that's what I wanted to complain about, and I'm really not happy about it. But if anybody has, I don't want to even open that up. If anyone has any ideas, send me a message because then I will get this partially solicited, but really unsolicited advice.
Careful what you
Just
ask for.
the
Yeah.
thing that I hate the most. So
Hmm.
if you want to make me happy, send me food that I can eat. There we go. If you want to
Like
help, send me some examples. All right.
avocados.
Yeah, no avocados. So tell us about your non-boyfriend.
Oh God. So last Thursday, right, was our last scrutiny. So I had told you all about the 8-hour date, non-date on the Saturday night before and waking up to the Happy Father's Day text. That's kind of where we left off here. I think you've heard the next steps. Well, then after scrutiny last week, I go race off to my Toastmaster meeting and I'm coming home from that and I get a text that says, hey, good sir, what you up to tonight? Or, whatever, you want to grab a drink? And I'm just like, this is not bro talk, dude, And so we end up grabbing a drink and having a great conversation, and then going, dropping him off back at his place because I picked him up. And then again Saturday, got another, hey, you at work? I thought I might stop by and say hi. Um, and it almost is like, damn it, I was over this situation and now the situation revisited. And it's like, and I'm happy to be friends with anybody, but new friends I don't usually hang out with 3 times in a week, and I don't get the
Right.
there's certain words that just seem flirty in a text that maybe I overread into things, but things like, calling me good sir and would you mind scooping me up? And I'm like, well, that's what I've been trying to do for a few months now. So So it's been an interesting journey. So we did hang out 2 more times since I had filled y'all in on the last part, and spent pretty much all of my therapy session on Monday morning with my therapist talking about the whole situation, because the last time I saw my therapist was, day after rejection day, and I was like, oh my God, doc, we got work to do. And he's like, yeah, we had Father's Day, we have this. And I'm like, no, Father's Day was fine. Actually, I've gone on 3 dates since I got told no. uh but yeah, it's been interesting, and it's just making me really think about a lot of things for myself, and being aware of boundaries, and being aware of thinking about being realistic about what do I really want in my life and for my life, not in a way of like I'm not hung up on this particular person. He's maybe becoming someone that'll be a good friend maybe, but it just I think when we have things happen that are involving other people, and we have to, I think the best thing we can do is just look at, okay, what part of what I'm doing is adding to this, or if I want this to go a certain direction or not go a certain direction, then what am I going to do to manage that and set the expectations and boundaries. And then also, if there's feelings that are there that you're thinking about, or that are in the back of your head, or that have come and gone, then like for me, it's like, oh, maybe I have to be more actually honest with myself about what I want to pursue, with somebody else. Like I look at it like test driving a used car. Like you get in a car sometimes and you're like, oh, this is the car I want. This feels good. But then there's like something rattling under the hood, or there's a funky, stale cigarette odor that just isn't coming out that you don't notice right away. And you're like, oh, well, I don't want this one, but I know I want this model. So you're like, well, now I know a little bit more about what I'm looking for, and I can keep shopping, finding a better fit. So anyway, that's been my latest.
So when was the last time you heard from him? Saturday?
Saturday. We just had a quick drink Saturday. He was going out to meet friends, and one of my boundaries that I've set is that I'm purposely not initiating things. Like if I don't hear from him for a couple of weeks, I might say, hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you around, but I'm not taking the lead in that, because like I already did, and that's fine. I'm not gonna ghost or ignore anybody, but I'm just not gonna be the one going, hey, are we going out this weekend?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Bless you.
He's coming, but it's not going to come.
Okay.
I know one thing about like when you are seeing someone that there's I don't want to call it a problem, but just like have a conversation. The aunt guy and Dave are talking right outside my door, so it distracted me a little bit. But when you're seeing someone that's not like exactly right, because maybe he's like straight, or like someone like people will say, well, this is just someone that I'm dating right now. The one thing that I always think of is while you're spending time with that person, Mr. Right might be over here and go, oh, well, he's with somebody,
Yeah.
So you just never know, you got to be really careful about where you draw that line. Like, yeah, we're just playing around, but no, I've had that. You're less mentally available for what you really want,
Yeah, I've had that same thought about, like, even when I did date the one guy 6 years ago, it was like, oh, by the end of it, I knew this wasn't the right person for me, and I was just kind of filling out time, and it was like, and I would see other people out and around town. I'm like, oh, I wonder what that guy's like, or this guy, and I was like, well, I'm not going to go hit on somebody when I'm with somebody, and I was just like, oh, with the wrong person is keeping me from finding the right person, or being available for the right person. So that's a really good thing to keep in mind.
Well, and sometimes you just want to play around, so
well, and another thing,
what's going to happen.
Well, and another thing that it's made me very aware of is, this could be someone who really isn't gay and just is very friendly and wants a friend, and that's fine. Could also be someone who, didn't think they were gay till they met the most wonderful man in the world, and all of a sudden we're like, wow, I feel a certain way for this guy. But it's made me realize, like, I'm happy to be friends with people and help them, through whatever they're going through in life. But like as far as a partner for me and what I need in a partner is, I'm as out as I can be. And so I need someone who's very come to terms with that and ready for that and is in that place.
Right, because
We go out one night on the town and even, we went out, I think almost every time we've gone out, we've run into people that I know. And he even says, I just feel like you're like a local celebrity. I'm like, well, we're also in a lot of my regular hangouts. So there's that. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, if I'm dating someone there and, being in the closet is not an option for that.
right, yeah, for sure. Shoot, what was I gonna say?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm a little distracted by the conversation.
Okay. But it is funny because like everybody that's seen us together is like, oh, I thought you were on a date. I thought that was a date. I'm like, nope, just friends.
Oh, this is what I wanted to say. Now, this is just my perspective. But the fact that he called you fine, sir, was it fine, sir?
Good sir. Yeah.
Good, sir. It reminds me of like people that go, "Milady," like those Renaissance fair nerds.
Uh-huh.
That's what it makes me think of.
That's funny.
Like I always say, I used to say, like the first time a guy calls me "Milady," then it's like, that's it.
I'm done.
Yeah. I just never wanted to spend time at a Renaissance fair. So,
Funny. I was planning to go this year.
well, okay. It's fine. Just don't take me. I talked to an old friend today.
Did you?
Yeah, Gay Bob called me.
Okay, nice. How's Gay Bob?
He's good. He's just as obnoxious as always. And he gets real angry when I don't answer his phone calls. So I have been owing him a phone call for a while and just wasn't ready for him to yell at me. But I braved it and answered the phone. It was a fun conversation. And it brought up we talked about some good memories, and that always feels good,
Yeah.
But I am going to tell a story about him. This is how annoying Gay Bob is. We went to Seaside, Oregon together one time.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in our hotel room, and he he's cold all the time. And,
Okay.
I'm hot all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so and I'm like, well, I have to sleep with the window open because we're at the ocean. The ocean's right there. We're right off the promenade.
You have to be able to hear the waves. Yeah.
And no, he forced me to shut the window, and then he turned on the radio like machine, whatever, to hear, fake ocean waves.
Oh my God. Go to the ocean.
Don't go to the ocean to listen to the fake ocean waves.
I'm sorry, that is funny.
Yeah.
And
I told him after that, I will never stay in a hotel room with you again.
he said that?
I said that to
Oh, you said
him.
that to
Yeah.
him.
So no, that was so funny though. But
That is-
he likes to be contrary. And let me just say that the reason we call him Gay Bob is because I knew him from the chat line days. And there were 3 Bobs.
Oh, gotcha.
So we had to differentiate between Boeing Bob, Buzzing Bob, and Gay Bob. So, but anyway, he was good, and it was good to hear from him. And hopefully one day he'll make it out to a show or something.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, it was very good.
Can you hear the dogs now?
Nope.
Oh, really?
No. So after this, I am going down to the Chamber of Commerce because they have I don't know if you can hear the helicopter now, but there's a helicopter going by.
Luckily, we can only hear our own noises, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm going to the Chamber of Commerce after this. I'm doing a workshop on kind of being your own entrepreneur and really all about owning your awkward as an entrepreneur and how to bring that together in order to be as successful as you can in a way where you stop trying to listen to everybody else. So,
Oh, good. That sounds good.
yeah, I'm excited. It's a 2-hour workshop. Those always make me nervous because I always have to plan in activities for people to do, and you're kind of at the mercy a little bit of the interaction of the crowd. But I've spent the last couple of years practicing and learning how to push the interaction, because you have to get people comfortable because they're not all comfortable being in front of a group. So you have to ease them into it. So it's been fun to see that, what I've learned, put it into action and then see it actually work. I'm like, oh wow, I'm glad I learned that. So
Yeah. We have a comment from Tracy just saying hello. So hi, Tracy.
hey, Tracy.
So I could see the comments. That's exciting.
That is exciting.
Guess where I'm going Sunday?
Where are you going Sunday?
Well, I don't know if you've heard.
I haven't heard.
I'm going to Vegas on Sunday.
Oh, yes, that's right. I did know that. I've heard it a
Yeah,
million
so-
times. Forgot about the date.
Yeah, so we had the girl that's going to pet sit come over yesterday, I think, or the day
Okay.
before, and kind of showed her the ropes. She's helped me clean before, but she hasn't like pet sit for us or anything yet. But she's going to come back over again tomorrow
Just get used
so
to
that Nipsey will be, because he barked at her. We had her, we put treats outside and had her come in with the treats and just
Okay.
give the dogs treats right away. And so Nipsey only barked at her a couple times. So I think by Saturday he'll be good.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. Do you like to go to Vegas?
A little bit. I know I don't have time to get a haircut, so I'm just going to make an appointment for a haircut there in their salon.
Do you have anything particular you're lining up to do this time? You gonna see Pompsy? What you gonna do?
I
No,
don't
it's
know.
hard to track him
I don't know
down.
about Pomsey, but we're no, there it was just his time because poor Andrew last year when we went, his scooter got all
Yeah,
messed up and we couldn't do anything and it was horrible. And so that he got promised a lot of things that he didn't get to do. So we're gonna, we're only staying a couple days, but we're gonna go see a Michael Jackson show and he wants to ride the monorail. Like,
okay.
whatever. I mean,
Wow.
that's Andrew's dream vacation is to just ride buses and monorails and
Okay.
trains,
Train, like any kind of like public transportation.
Yeah,
kind of
he
thing?
loves it. So there
That's
we
cool.
go.
Is it the monorail that goes from like, or is it something different that you get on at like the Luxor and then?
There's the one that goes between Mandalay Bay and Excalibur, but there's one that goes down the other side of the street from like MGM, I think, way down to the end.
Okay, because we took the
I've
one.
never been on it.
Okay, because we took the short one last year, right? The one that just went from Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
So this will be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And it's just short enough of a trip that I think Dave and Andrew can handle it.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And, yeah. Let me tell you, we have been getting along very well in the bedroom over here. So
well, that's exciting to know.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's just times when you're married where you kind of it ebbs and flows.
Sure. And I think that's something that people need to remember. Like it isn't like, oh, it's over. It's like things, we all have different moods.
It's just like we're busy or we're tired or we're sick of each other, whatever.
Or
And
one
then all of a
person might be
sudden,
struggling with something and that gets in the way of feeling sexy.
And then one day it's just like, well, hello there.
Well, hey, I've missed
I remember
you.
you.
Right.
Oh yeah, so that's been good.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
sure
that's good.
he loves when I talk about that kind of stuff in public.
I'm sure he does. At least it's flattering. At least it's good, flattering conversation.
I told you this, but I haven't said it like on air or whatever, but was it you I told? I don't talk to anybody else, so probably
I don't know. Familiar.
That one of the disc golfers said to Dave,
oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, I watched your wife's stand up and boy, she sure gives it to you.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, if other people are feeling that way, just know all my Dave Hardman jokes are Dave approved. And there might be a couple that he doesn't really like, but he's fine with everything I say. So I don't want anyone to feel like I'm
You're not up there roasting him on stage.
Yeah, or disrespecting him in any way. Like I have a much love and appreciation and respect for Mr. Dave Hardman. So
he's a good guy. Good guy, Dave.
Yeah. Well,
I had the weirdest dream last night.
Really?
Yes. I was running through an airport and I ran into like I can't even say who it was. Like it wasn't like it was like a celebrity crush kind of person that I have, but they're a little bit controversial. Like there, it wasn't a, like that was just the feeling I had. Like I'm not, there wasn't a specific person that they were, but I was like, yeah, see, I follow you on Snapchat and Twitter and whatever. And they're like, oh, cool. But they were like trying to get away from like this crowd that was chasing. It was just them and me trying to get away from like people who were like trying to grab him and like hold him captive or something. And I was like, okay, well, here we're gonna get on Snapchat and like go live or something and get people to like see us so we can get help. And he's like, man, this really bothers me that like you're better at this than I am. Like I have a following and you're better at like protecting me or whatever. It was just some funny like thing. But then it was like off and on through the airport, like keep trying to find a place to hide, then they'd find us, and this cat and mouse game. And it's very interesting,
Huh.
bizarre dream. And then
I
I'm
think since you remember it so well, I feel like that is your brain trying to tell you something. So you should really write that one down and try to figure out what it's saying to you.
at one point his shirt got ripped off and I was like, oh. But anyway,
Huh.
yeah, it was just like crazy weird. The things our dreams do.
I had a dream yesterday during my nap. Now, mind you, I was watching a serial killer show about like a copycat Zodiac killer.
Oh,
Okay. So, but in the dream, it was like Dave and I went into like a store to buy like crystals, like that one store that you and I have been in, and there was some like occult stuff in there. And they were talking about, I kept hearing the word occult, but I know that's because they were saying it on the show that I was watching because it was so
yeah.
plain. And there was like the head devil guy was, there was some devil guy, and Dave was getting involved with him. And I was saying, we just came in to buy crystals. Like, I don't want like all this occult stuff around. And
Right.
then in my head, I was like, this could be a deal breaker. And then the devil guy and I started talking, and he turned and looked at me, and he was like, said something like, you're gonna die or something. And he just looked and shot me this evil, like there was a force that came at me. And then I just went, well, I believe in God, and like shot right back at him. And he kind of went like that. And then at the end, he turned around and his eyes turned all red.
Wow.
And then I woke up just like, oh. And they were still talking about the Zodiac killers. I don't even know how long I slept. It could have only been a few minutes.
Yeah, isn't it crazy how those things can be like just a 30-second little blip, and you're just like, how did all that happen?
Oh, I was scared, but then it's such a relief to wake up and go, okay. But you still sometimes can't shake that feeling of a dream.
Right. Yeah. And that was so when I had my therapy appointment, we were talking about the situation with the dude and everything. The doc said at one point, he's like, well, let's like this is one thing that could be an interpretation. It's kind of like interpreting dreams. He's like, this is one possible explanation or one way to look at it. And we talked about some things, and it was like just having a couple different perspectives. And that's, I think, with dreams too, where it's like, well, it could mean this, it could be that, it could be as simple as you're watching this occult show about killing, and that's where your mind is, but yeah. And his whole point with that particular situation was take this into consideration, but don't see it as the answer.
All right. Oh, I have a sneeze that wants to come out, but it's just
hanging out there, just right there.
Well, what do you got coming up? Anything coming up?
I have this event today at Spaceworks, and that's for the current cohort as well as the alumni. So it'll be kind of nice because I know a couple of people that I know who have been in previous groups who are going to be there, plus their current group. So I'm looking forward to that. And then the next couple days, I'm trying to think, like, yeah, I don't have, so next week I'm working every day at Odd Otter.
Mhm.
Except for, I think I have one day off because of someone on vacation, but then Saturday is Tacoma Pride, so I'll have a booth at Tacoma Pride.
Oh,
So if y'all are down in downtown Tacoma next Saturday, July 8th, a week
are
from
you
this,
gonna have enough t-shirts for that?
I am. Hopefully I sell out, but I looked at what I sold last year and what I have left, and I may run out of a particular color and a particular size thing, but I
But you're
have plenty to sell based on what I sold last year.
cool.
Um, I was getting a little nervous, but I did all my inventory. Same thing with books. Like I may run out of one of my journals if like when I ordered last time, the one that's been the least seller, I didn't order as many of, and that's what I sold the most of at the gig event. And so I was like, well, I have 6 of those, but I have plenty of books and I have plenty of merch to sell. So yeah, I feel good. And actually, in some ways, this will be good because it'll help me kind of right size a couple things that I need to sell through. So
That's cool.
yeah.
I have a couple shows later on in the month in July. Like I'm really, I had to block out my vacation and stuff like that. But I wanted to just say like on Diary of an XO, because I got a lot of good stuff coming up. I was thinking about this today, like some of the subjects have been very, so like right now we have Sarah Champion out with, and she's talking about Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and her experience with that in the Navy.
Okay.
And then next week we have Karina Lee Allen talking about being an egg donor. And
Okay.
then the next week we have Quentin Jones talking about, well, he has a funny story that he tells about during the pandemic. And then the next week we have Alyssa Yeoman talking about sex therapy. And then the following week we have Anna Mil Silvio, who writes a sexual escape artist series of books. So I've been really got some very varied topics. And
Yeah, that's a nice like variety and lineup and different types of people and people. Like I know a couple of them, and that's exciting.
yeah. And then like I'll be going to Portland. I've got like 3 shows in Portland next month. But the week that I'm here, I have Trenchers on the 18th, Rainier Growlers on the 21st, and Odd Otter on the 24th. So
Yeah. Wow.
that's a good week for comedy right around here. So somebody should come to one or all of those shows.
Yeah, they should. Look forward to it.
All right. Well, I think I'm ready. You ready to go?
I'm ready. It's been fun.
All right. It's been real and it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. That's what my dad always used to say. All right.
I've
Bye.
never heard that before.
It's been very fun. It's always fun when I'm with you, Andy.
Oh, yes, it is. Bye bye.